The Week 2 video review is coming to you from sunny Hawaii, where some of us decided to take a vacation this week, including myself. And one of us, Pack Daddy, decided to take up permanent residence here. Let's take a look at the awards from this week, along with this week's power rankings. We were very close to having 12 1-1 teams after week 2, but that did not happen because the top turds were able to hold off Pack Daddy and remain the only undefeated team left in our league. We have a lot of close races already after week 2, with some close 1-1 records, with that point total being what is going to define the leading team in the division. With that, let's get started with our week 2 awards. Our top performer award is going to go to two different recipients. The first one being Brolo El Cañado for his top score of the week. And he surprisingly has the number 1 back in the league in Darren Sproles, who put up yet another big performance this past week to lead him to his first win of the year. The second recipient of this award goes to Sigma 05, and this one is because he was able to take down a big opponent in A-Will's boys, which I don't think anyone saw coming. And this was a pretty big win for him to start his year and could help get the ball rolling on more wins than he had last year. Let's move on to our second award, which is going to be the Flush the Toilet Twice award. Now, this is going to Sigma's opponent, A-Will's boys. Not because he had the lowest score, but this is because he was a heavy favorite, probably the heaviest favorite of this past week, and he came up with a big egg. He got beaten down the stretch by Brandon Marshall, and he really got hurt by Noshawn Moreno, but I don't see any excuses here. I still think that his team is far, far better and should have performed better. Our third award of the week goes to the Top Choice Award, which I'm going to give to Brolo El Cañado for his start of Bobby Rainey, who put up 18.2 points this week. It was a smart decision after Doug Martin was deemed out. He went to the waiver wire, picked up his replacement, and it came up big and helped him, along with Darren Sproles, pick up his week 2 win. Our fourth award is going to be Me, I'm Screwed award, and this is going to go to Check Yourself. Now, this is not because of his score right now or his record, but this is because Adrian Peterson is going to cause a lot of troubles for his team going forward. He is not going to know how to approach his running back situation until this is resolved, and it may not be resolved for a while. So that is why he is receiving this award. Now let's hop right into our power rankings for week 2. We have a few changes after some big games and big scores this past week. Our number 1 seed remains the same. It's the Top Turds, like we said. He came up with a big victory against Pack Daddy, was able to hold him off on Monday night as Andrew Luck came up with some big touchdowns to defeat Nick Foles and Reggie Wayne. Our number 2 player in the rankings is Giant Bag of Dicks. Now, this was what we expected from him in week 1. While he did put up a good score in week 1, he had a loss. Now he's back to a 1-1 record and leading his division. Week 3 is Felcher and Sons. He came up short this week, but still has a very respectable score and is going to look to hop back in week 3 into his winning ways. Number 4 is the Trash Stash. Now, this was one of my preseason favorites, as I mentioned last week. And I think that after his stumble on week 1, he came out in week 2 and put up a performance that he is much more likely to have in the upcoming weeks throughout the season. Our number 5 player in the rankings this week is Brolo El Cañado, who was one of the top performers this week. He came out big, had the top score, and propelled himself up into the number 5 seed. Number 6 is Breeze on Ball. Breeze on ball has been steady so far this year, putting up 2 respectable scores, sitting at a 1-1 record, and has a good matchup with Felcher & Sons coming up in week 3. At number 7, Check Yourself is going to have some problems in the upcoming weeks trying to decide what he's going to do with his running back situation. So we will see how he approaches this and see if he's going to go up or down in the power rankings next week. Next, we're going to have A-Will's boys. Now, this was one of the biggest drops over the past week. He was sitting previously at number 3. The big drop, 1 being because he has had 2 fairly low scores, and 2, the big loss to Sigma is one that shouldn't have happened and most likely wouldn't happen again, but it did, and that's why he's sitting at number 8. Number 9 is Jay Gordon Rehab Chamber. This is our defending champion who is sitting at 1-1, has some work to do, has a fairly well-balanced team, but is going to need a lot out of Jake Locker to be able to have this team move up in the power rankings. Number 10, after his big victory this week, is Sigma 05. Now, he did get that win that could move him up week after week if he continues it to happen, but for right now, I'm not sure if this was something that's going to happen again or if it was just one of those weeks that he might have gotten lucky. So for right now, he's sitting at number 10, but it's a good start. Number 11, another team that is going to have some questions that are going to need to be answered over the next few weeks, and that's Fildo Industries. He has, some rough starts from Tom Brady, and is this the Tom Brady that we've seen over the past years, or is this a new Tom Brady that is going to keep him down in the bottom of the power rankings for this year? And bringing up the back end of the power rankings at number 12, again, for the second week, it's Pack Daddy. He put up a slightly better battle this week against our top overall team, but he still came up short, and hopefully we can see him get his first win next week. That's it for our week 2 power rankings, and we will check back in with you next week to let you see how everyone's done. So for right now, let's take a look at our week 3 matchups.
Who you suckers think you're tripping with? Yes, I'm the boss. 745, white on white, that's Rick Ross. I cut them wide, I cut them long, I cut them fat. I keep them coming back, we keep them coming back. I'm in the distribution, I'm like Atlantic. I got them pretty things flying across the Atlantic. I know Pablo Noriega, the real Noriega. He owe me 100 favors. I ain't petty player, we buy the whole thing. See, most of my homies hustle, they still do their thing. My woof back, my money ride. I'm on the pedal, show you what I'm running like.